Hi there, my name is Chad Trofgerman, and I am the creator of Tokoma. Now, I wasn't planning on recording this video. As you know, I do animations. That's sort of the shtick for this whole endeavor. But today I wanted to discuss something a little bit more serious, and I thought it might be best to do it live action. So you can see me and you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to jump right into it. And I'm opening this up as a discussion of sorts. I'm going to share my experiences of what I've been going through, and I'm very curious to see if anyone else out there has had similar experiences, or maybe there's other things out there that could help others work through some things. So, just a little bit of backstory about me. I have suffered from anxiety and depression, and I was recently diagnosed with ADHD. And I've dealt with these issues for as long as I can remember. And as I've gotten older, I've also started to experience some physical pain. Especially in the mornings when I wake up, I just get kind of stiff and it's hard to move. And I have found in the past decade, based on my experiences, that cannabis can help with these symptoms, both pain and mental. And I'm sure that there are those of you watching who are like, yeah, because, we all have our reasons for smoking or consuming cannabis, but I'm sure there are a chunk of you out there who do it to help with medical problems. So about 3 years ago, I had a very traumatic experience. It was a near-death experience. And essentially what happened was I got a flu vaccine, which I'd never done before. And it caused my heart to stop for 3 minutes. So what happened after that was I was experiencing nonstop panic attacks about 2 weeks after this whole thing started. And I was learning that the cannabis wasn't really doing what I was wanting it to do anymore. Things were going a little bit beyond that control. So I eventually sought out medical help, and I was put on zoloft, which is an anti-anxiety and antidepressant. And it did help with those panic attacks. But as time has gone on, I'm starting to feel a little bit, maybe better about that whole thing that happened. Because again, it was traumatic. But I'm separated from it now, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And I feel like maybe the Zoloft has sort of tapered itself off, but I'm not 100% sure. But here's my point. So this whole thing led me to going to someone who specializes in medication of this sorts. I have a therapist, I have a doctor, and I have this other person who I was recently introduced to help me with this choice. And I shouldn't be shocked by this, but it still bugs me to no end. The gap of knowledge between mental health professionals and the cannabis industry and what cannabis does, what cannabis can do, is miles apart. I was told during this particular session that essentially cannabis is like beer. Did you know that? That if you take too much, you're inebriated and you can't do a damn thing. And you're probably thinking, what? Now, of course, there are some strains out there that might, and this meeting I had yesterday, I was actually arguing with this person. And it was kind of just like, I could tell that their inexperience with cannabis was completely showing. Now, again, is it their fault? I don't know. I mean, education on this subject has been lacking. It's sorely lacking. We need more education on this, because we need to know exactly what it is doing to us. Sure, it's alleviating some symptoms, but what are the long-term effects? And all that kind of stuff. I completely support cannabis research. But this person was basically saying that cannabis is detrimental. It's screwing up my brain chemistry. It's not allowing me to mentally heal because I am throwing everything out of whack every time, I smoke a bowl or whatever. And I just don't believe it. I know that I'll probably sound like a conspiracy theorist right now, right? Oh, well, no, the earth isn't round. No, I've been smoking for 10 years, and I'm sure there's many of you out there who have been smoking longer or consuming cannabis longer. I know what it does. I know what I was like before I started. I know what symptoms it helps with. I'm under the impression, and I know this for a fact just based on my own experiences, that it's not a cure-all. It's a tool. It helps. And when I'm told by someone who thinks that cannabis is like alcohol, in that the more you smoke, I don't know what, you're going to just like, get alcohol poisoning. Like, that's not how this works. You can't, you can smoke a lot and you can get dazed and you can get tired. But this whole thing, it was being demonized in a very, very, obvious way. I was told by this person when we started that they're actually okay with people who consume cannabis for medical purposes. But this last meeting, she really honed in on that and was trying to, I guess, get me to stop. I don't know. The point of the matter is there is a huge gap between the mental health industry and what cannabis can do for us. And I'm here to state right now, I'm not a doctor. I don't have that type of education. But cannabis can help with mental illness. 100%. I know this for a fact. I can go into an anxiety mood, nearing a panic attack. I can be working on my stuff, and I can hit a wall, and I can start to get those sort of ADHD symptoms. And if I step out and I smoke a particular strain, I can streamline my thoughts, and I can continue to work. What I feel is being advocated right now is this person wants me to take her drugs over the drugs that I'm taking right now. Now, you could argue if cannabis is a drug. I mean, that's the whole thing. I'm just saying drug as, as just a point of reference. But it actually really frustrates me. It actually frustrates me to a point where, like, I actually kind of have dreams about it. Like, I internalize it. And this whole stigma is kind of surprising to me given where I'm at in Washington State. I thought maybe it would be a little bit more open-minded here in terms of what cannabis can do medically, but I see we have a long way to go. And not only just for the medical health professionals, but we as a community have a long way to go in proving or showing the benefits of this and trying to push the research in the direction so that we can prove what it is doing to us. I guess apparently saying to someone, hey, I feel better is not enough for some people. So we have to, really dig in deep here and prove it. Because I'm sick and tired of feeling like I'm doing something wrong for trying to ease the symptoms that I have. It's bullshit. And no one should ever make you feel like that. Sure, you could be dependent on something and maybe you need a second look, but I don't think cannabis is the type of substance that's going to cause that. And I tried to explain this. I'm not addicted to it. It's a dependency. If I stop smoking today, I'm probably going to go through a 24 to 48 hour period where I am irritable. After that, I'm probably going to be fine. I'd like to smoke, but I'm not going to experience any terrible symptoms from not smoking. Meanwhile, what the hell's going to happen if I take one of this person's magical pills and I decide, oh, that's not going to work? If I stop, my brain is screwed. Like that's basically what happens. And like 15 years ago, I had that experience where someone ripped me off medication and I literally almost killed myself. Tell me, if you stop smoking cannabis, are you going to fucking kill yourself? Well, you might want to because you might want to get high, but you know what I mean? This whole thing, this whole stigma, it's not good. It's not good for the community. It needs to be addressed. We need to advocate for education, and we need to figure out exactly what it is doing for us besides alleviating symptoms, just playing devil's advocate there. But the medical community, they need to listen a little bit more, and they need to realize that this isn't just some, drug-addicted fool just smoking and passing out because it's just like beer. It's not. Cannabis and alcohol are not in that way. There might be similarities chemically, but ultimately, it's not the same thing. And you smokers out there know that. So anyway, I wanted to get this off my chest. I didn't really have any script or format for this. I just sat down, I started recording. I can do more of these if you wish. If you would like to hear more from me or see my actual face, you can just drop a comment. And again, I would love to hear your experiences on mental health and cannabis. And finally, I will be releasing, the animations continuing on. It's going to be every Wednesday, just like before. This video is not going to screw up that schedule. Just wanted to point that out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please comment, and I hope you have a great day.